Hello everyone. Over the past videos of Java tutorial series, there were many occasions I had mentioned the access modifiers. In fact, on every program we had access modifiers. In this video, we will look at the access modifiers of Java in detail. In general, there are two types of modifiers in Java, access modifiers and non-access modifiers. Access modifiers. Access modifiers are used to indicate the visibility in Java. It helps to restrict the scope, thus providing security, accessibility, etc. It simplifies the accessibility or scope of a variable or method or constructor or class, meaning we can change the access level of classes, constructors, methods, or variables. Are there any types of access modifiers in Java? There are four types of access modifiers in Java: public, protected, default, private. Public access modifiers has the widest scope among all access modifiers. Public access modifier is specified by the keyword public. It indicates that code is accessible from everywhere. This means methods or members that are declared as public are accessible from everywhere in the program, assuming the class itself is visible. There is no restriction on the scope of public data members. This access modifier can be applied to classes, variables, methods, and the constructor. Most of the classes in Java are defined as public. Most of the constant variables are declared as public. We use protected keyword specify protected access modifier. The members of the class. Wherever I mention members of the class, it indicates methods, variables, and constructors in the class. The members of the class declared as protected are accessible only within the package and the subclasses outside the package. Okay, what are subclasses? Subclasses or child classes falls under one of the OOPS concepts in Java, inheritance. We will discuss in detail about inheritance later. For now, just understand the child classes can be created by extending the parent classes in Java. The extend keyword is used to indicate inheritance in Java. The child object occurs or inherits all the properties of the parent class. General syntax: class B extends class A. Example is shown here. In this example, as you can see, we extend the parent class in child class. Protected method defined in the parent class is only accessible by the child class outside the package. Any other class that does not extend the parent class cannot access the protected method. The protected access modifier can be applied on the variables, methods, and the constructors. It cannot be applied on the class. This access modifier provides slightly restricted accessibility than public and more accessibility than default. Disclaimer: the views shared in this video are only personal opinion. The video does not intend to hurt anyone's sentiment. Some of the information are gathered from various sources on the internet, which might not be 100% accurate, hence recommend discretion. There are some terms or acronyms usage that was not explained initially. Recommend to go with the flow. They will be explained in the later part when it is ideal in the current video or subsequent videos of this tutorial series. Default access modifier. When no access modifier are specified to classes, variables, methods, and constructor, it is treated as default access modifier. Default access modifier is accessible only within the package. This means members and classes that are not declared using any access modifier have default access modifiers and are accessible only within the package. The default access modifier with the specific keyword default can be only used to define members of interfaces in Java. That is, for classes and members, we cannot specify default keyword. Private access modifier. Whenever we use the keyword private, it indicates private access modifier. The methods or variables declared as private are only accessible within the class in which they are declared. Top level classes or interfaces cannot be declared as private. Any other class on the same package or different package will not be able to access private members of a class. We can use private access modifier for nested or inner classes, that is, classes within a class. We can also define constructor as private. Top level main classes can be either public or without any access modifiers. We can leave a class without specifying any access modifier, which means default scope, that is accessible within the package. But you cannot specify default keyword explicitly on top level class or interface. We can have inner classes as private or protected or default based on the need. But the top level class cannot have access modifier private or protected or default. Let's look at this simplified table. All access modifier provide visibility for members within the class. From any class in the same package, private access modifiers will not have visibility. All other access modifiers will have visibility within the same package. From a subclass within the same package, the same private members will not have visibility and all others will have. From a subclass outside the same package, only public and protected access modifier members will have visibility. For any non-subclass outside the package, only public members will have visibility. Let's look at an overall example for all the things I went through in this video, get better understanding of the access modifiers in Java. For this example, I will be creating various classes to explain each of the concepts we have discussed so far. First, let's create a default class. So, this class does not have any access modifier, which means it have default access visibility. Default access visibility means it can be accessed within the package. So it has been created inside samples package. So it can be accessed within this package. We cannot declare this as private or protected or default. So without any access modifier, it is simply default. Now, how to test the theory that this is being accessible within the package? Let's create another class and within that define a main method. Create a new object for this sample default class and then call the print method. So now let's execute this. The default class is printed as expected. Let's take a simple class example where all the members are public access modifier. The class is specified as public. Within that, we have a public variable and a public method. The public method prints hello. In the common area outside all the packages, we are creating a class demo access modifier. Within the void main method, we are creating an object for sample public members. Then calling the print message method, which would print hello, and then we are printing the public variable value. Then let's create a parent class. We are going to define all the possible access modifiers in this class. Declare this constant variable with the static final keyword. Then protected variable, private variable, default access modifier variable, then public variable. We are defining public method, a protected method, another protected method, which in turn will call the private methods. We have default method, then the inner classes. So the inner classes can be private, protected, or default. Inner class means class within a class, nested classes. Now I'm creating another class, demo parent. This is simply to illustrate the default variable access. I'm going to extend it within the package. So this is a subclass extending the parent class within the same package. I will be able to call the default method and the default variable as well. Now let's create a child class. First, we try to define different types of constructor. As we have seen, we can define a public constructor, protect, private, and default constructor as well. But in general, most of our constructor will be public. The reason for that is, so here we have created the object. Let's see whether we can able to create object with the other constructor. Here, as you can see, it is showing it has private access, cannot be defined. And the next one is it has protected access. And here it is not public. Basically, this is a default one. So ideally these constructors are of no use. Only the public constructor is of use. There may be some special cases where we might need to define it private or protect depending on the usage, but it is extremely rare. Then we have a public method in the child and we have public method that will call all its parent method. So all these methods are in the parent class. This is the public method and here the protected method. Then we have a protected method that internally calls the private methods. From here, we cannot call the default method because it is outside the package. So in sample parent, we have defined a default method, but we won't be able to call that from here. So you can see it is saying it is not defined as public or protected. Now let's test each of these things. We have already seen the sample public members. Now we create an object for demo parent and then print the default value and variable. We create an object for the sample child. We call all the available methods, all the public methods, which will in turn call the parent protected method. So one of the methods we have is print with super. This super is a concept that we will discuss in detail in inheritance. For now, just understand super indicates its parent class. So it will call the parent class method. Then we are printing the value of variables that are accessible. Here, A is of public. If we try to access any of these variables, we will get errors. It has protected access, hence it cannot be viewed here. Then Y has private access. Z is not public, hence we cannot access. The only thing we can access is public variable, and this is a constant. Here again, this is just another example. We can create an object for the parent class also. Since the parent class is also defined as public, we will have access to this anything that is defined as public outside the package as well. Let's execute the program and see the results. All the output values are printed as expected. Let's recap with a quick 2-minute summary. Two types of modifiers in Java: access modifiers and non access modifiers. Access modifiers are used to indicate the visibility in Java. It specifies the accessibility or scope of a field, method, constructor, or class. We can change the access level of class, constructor, method, or variables. There are four types of access modifiers in Java: public, protected, private, and default. Public access modifiers indicate that code is accessible from everywhere. Members that are declared as public are accessible from everywhere in the program. There is no restriction. Public keyword is used to specify this kind of access modifiers. The members of the class declared as protected are accessible only within the package and the subclasses outside the package. Subclasses are child classes, also under one of the OOPS concepts in Java, inheritance. The extend keyword is used to indicate inheritance in Java. When no access modifiers are specified to classes, variables, methods, and constructors, it is treated as default access modifier. The default access modifier is accessible only within the package. Whenever we use the keyword private, it indicates private access modifier. The methods or variables declared as private are only accessible within the class in which they are declared. Top level classes can be either public or without any access modifiers. We can have inner classes as private or protected or default based on the need. But the top level class cannot have access modifiers, private or protected or default. All access modifiers provide visibility for members within the class. From any class in the same package or subclasses within the package, private members will not have visibility, and all other access modifiers will have visibility within the same package. From a subclass outside the package, only public and protected access modifiers members will have visibility. From any non-subclass outside the package, only public members will have visibility. After every topic, there will be a set of questions with multiple choice options which you can use to self-check your skill on that topic. These are derived by me for that topic. I will post the answers in the comment section. In case you got it wrong, no problem. Explore and identify what you missed. This exercise will help you learning the programming language efficiently. 1. Identify the correct statements. The options are given below. 2. Identify the wrong statements. The options are given below. 3. Given are two files. One is a class where it has different variables declared, and another class where within the main method an object is created for the sample class and the different variables are printed. On compilation and execution of the file demo.java, what is the result? Options are given below. Practice makes you better. You can master any programming language if you keep practice coding. After every topic, I will list out the programs for you to try out. Create a class inside a package. Define public variables and methods. Print something unique on each method. Create another class outside the package, and inside the main method, create an object for the class inside the package. Access and print all variable value and call all methods. 2. Create a class parent inside a package. Define combination of public, protected, private, and default variables and methods. Create a class child outside the package. Inherit the parent class. Inside the child class, define all possible methods, all visible parent class variables and methods, and print them. Create another class outside the package. Inside the main method, create an object for the child class. Access and print all visible variable values and call all visible methods. All the best for your tryouts. Thanks for watching this video.